Alright, so the essay topic is saying, it is much easier for people to access education now than it was for people in the past. Do you agree or disagree? I'm definitely going to agree with this statement. The first body paragraph is going to be talking about the different ways that people can access education now. And in the second body paragraph, I'm going to talk about how, even being able to be a part of a classroom environment was a privilege that was only accessible to the wealthy or only a select few many decades ago. Okay, now let's get right into the introduction. Template. Even though some may adamantly believe that receiving education has become more difficult as time passed, I strongly believe such opinion lacks coherence to some extent. In my humble opinion, it is most definitely much easier for individuals to access education now than it was for people in previous generations for the following reasons. Keep it simple. Now let's take a look at the conclusion paragraph. In summation, yes, template. Although the jury may be out on this given essay topic, we can come to a mutual agreement that it is much easier for people to access education now than it was for individuals in the past due to the reasons and details mentioned above. Those are the two paragraphs that I want you to type before typing the two body paragraphs, okay? Now I want you guys to do this because if you do so, the beginning and the wrap up of your essay will both be complete before you start typing the body paragraphs. And I really hate it when my clients or students come back from the test saying, I think I did a decent job, but I didn't have enough time to type the conclusion paragraph. That's very unfortunate because when that happens, your essay is going to be considered incomplete to a large extent. So it's going to decrease the likelihood of your getting a full mark, the score that you actually want. So let's type the introduction and conclusion paragraphs first before typing body 1 and body 2. Alright? Okay, now let's look at body 1 for me. First and foremost, the majority of individuals would agree with the notion that there are a large number of ways for people in the 21st century to receive education. The main reason behind this rationale is that, with the improvements that have taken place in the field of technology, a myriad of electronic devices that make learning not only more convenient but also more intriguing have been invented and made available to the general public. In other words, these days, people of all ages can have access to the answers to their academic curiosities and an infinite amount of information in their pockets or their homes. To illustrate more thoroughly, the World Wide Web has made class attendance possible virtually anywhere and at any time. Online courses enable those who are too busy to attend traditional schools to listen to lectures whenever they have some time on their hands. These classes also permit individuals who cannot afford exorbitant tuition fees not to give up on pursuing higher education, as there are numerous online universities and colleges that modern citizens can attend via the internet. Search engine websites such as Google, Wikipedia, and Bing provide their users with millions of search results in a split second, so people in our generation can obtain information about literally anything they have interest in at the drop of a dime. The television in today's world broadcasts a wide selection of educational programs that make education more accessible and more fun. The Discovery Channel, National Geographic, Animal Planet, and the History Channel are just some of the very liked, popular, and watched channels that offer viewers academic information. Hence, many students are now inadvertently learning valuable things while enjoying their free time by watching said programs. All in all, we can't and shouldn't overlook the fact that modern technology has made receiving education much easier for people in this day and age. Okay, that's body paragraph 1. The example is about specific things. Online courses number 1, Google number 2, Wikipedia, Bing, search engine websites number 2, and then educational yet enticing, intriguing educational shows offered via the television. Okay, second body. On top of this, getting proper education was a privilege only available for the wealthy in previous eras. In the eyes of many people in present-day society, education is one of the most essential facets of life, as what people learn in school now has a direct influence on the life they can enjoy once they come of age. Moreover, living circumstances were much harsher in the past, so education wasn't on the top of our ancestors' lists of priorities. Thus, people in previous generations usually forewent education in order to start working and make a living at a younger age. A great example of this would be my grandparents. My grandmother got married to my grandfather when she was at the tender age of 16. When I heard this, I was utterly shocked since I couldn't imagine myself becoming a father at that age. However, I came to the realization that she didn't have a choice back then, as going to school was simply unavailable for her, and the lifespan of people was very short decades ago. In other words, individuals in the past had to get a head start if they wanted to have a stable life. On the contrary, in today's society, many people actually put getting married on the back burner and prioritize their careers or education. Public schools have made it possible for all tax-paying citizens to graduate high school at no cost, so receiving education throughout one's adolescence is now the norm and no longer a privilege. Contrastingly, owing to the fact that there weren't many qualified educators when our grandparents were young, teachers were treated like celebrities and charged extremely high prices for their services. Long story short, it's clear as day to me that education is much more accessible as we speak than it was ever before. Okay, so the second body paragraph, the example that I decided to utilize here, or write here, was about my grandfather and grandmother, basically the time of our ancestors.